The next success factor is lead generation. Now, leads again are the absolute lifeblood of a real estate practice. So, the question becomes, is what lead generation strategy is best for you? Now, oftentimes real estate brokers enter this business and maybe they learn from a mentor, maybe they have taken a certain class, and that teaches them a lead generation strategy. And either that works very well for them or it may not. Now, that lead generation strategy may work simply because that broker forces themselves to do it, or by happenstance it actually may be a unique ability that they in fact have. But the question becomes, for those brokers where those strategies again are forced or they just plain don't work, how do you go about picking the right strategy? Well, it's understanding one thing, and that one thing is what your unique selling proposition is. So, what again is a unique selling proposition? It's the answer to the question, why would someone use me versus anyone else, including doing nothing? And once you understand that question, then at that point you can understand the massive value that you can deliver to a specific type of client. So it's simply at that point a matter of matching your unique selling proposition, why someone would use you over anyone else, including doing nothing, and you match that with your ideal client. So how do you find an ideal client? Well, a lot of it depends on potentially what your background may be before you entered into real estate. Is a lead generation strategy picking up a phone and calling canceled and expireds or for sale by owners, or potentially you're going to be working in the men and women in uniform market? Maybe you're calling attorneys to get estate business or probate business or divorce business or bankruptcy business. What outbound strategy are you using? If one of your unique abilities is the ability to get on the phone, it becomes a natural ability. Some people have that. Maybe that's not your unique ability, and you start looking at other lead generation methods. And there's tons of them out there. There are attraction lead generation methods. Potentially it's advertising with a specific message that communicates what your unique selling proposition is, and you can do that in a wide variety of formats. You can do that online using Facebook or Google or AdWords. Again, that concentrate on the messaging of your unique selling proposition, making sure that that messaging is consistent on your Facebook page, on your LinkedIn page, on your website. You do not have to reinvent the wheel for each one of these social media outlets. This way of presenting yourself to the world, in fact, it's much better to make sure that it's consistent. Oftentimes real estate brokers will just completely overcomplicate this, and they'll spend so much time setting up their website or other marketing that ultimately it crowds out the time to just have belly-to-belly conversations with someone advancing a real estate conversation. They think all these leads are going to start coming, when in the reality of it, it simply is just a client-facing, or the way that your branding is perceived by anyone who may or may not find you on the web or using some other type of social media tool. So it's not that it's not important. It absolutely is important, but it's not of paramount performance. So what are some specific things that you can do? Well, again, it's going about choosing the strategy that's good for you. So it may take trying some of those strategies on, but you get a lot closer by understanding what your unique selling proposition is. So, is it traditional print? Are you sending postcards out? Understand that whether it's online or whether it's traditional offline methods, you have to understand the distinction between branding and between direct response marketing. So you can send postcards out, you can have websites and such that just simply communicate your name, your brand, what it is that you stand for. And that's not bad. But direct response advertising, sending postcards out with a specific call to action, having a landing page or a single page on your website that offers something of high value. Maybe it's a report, maybe it's the top 10 things. In exchange for giving them this item of value, you also then expect a name and an email address. And at that point, you can start following up with them in a meaningful way. And in our next program, in our next video, we're going to talk about those follow-up systems. But when you understand how to execute on direct response marketing versus branding marketing, you're going to find that the response rate dramatically increases, because it's very clear to your clients the value that you're going to deliver and exactly what they need to do. And that's how you create effective lead generation systems.